Welcome back, everyone. This is episode 151 of Coach Quip. I'm Coach Robyn.
I'm Coach Chris.
And today we're going to go a little bit, not off topic, but this is something that I know I feel strongly about because we're sitting in one. But it's all about small businesses and the why and the how to show up for small local businesses right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a great topic, and I think definitely since COVID, we've seen the need to support small local businesses. I love that mind shift that happened in that time period, and no better time to talk about it than now.
I know, I'm here for it. This is my soapbox. I'm ready.
Take it away.
I'm ready. All right. So first up, we'll go over the why. So why is it like people always say, shop small, right? Amex did a whole Saturday over it. Although it should be every day, in my opinion. Yeah. So why does supporting small businesses matter, right? And I think we know it innately, but some of these stats, every time we talk about them, or every time I talk about them, people are surprised by it. Mm-hmm. And they're sticky, and they matter. So first up, when you keep it local, when you keep it small, up to 80% of what you spend, so if you spend $100, $80 of that actually ends up staying local. It ends up feeding directly back into your local community, your neighborhood, your organizations, and your services. When you compare this, it's 80% of it, right? When you compare it to what a larger business like an Amazon or a Whole Foods would get, that's 3 times the amount, the percentage that goes back. So if you spend $100 at a small grocery store that's local and family owned, $80 of that is going to be going back into, of course this is revenues, not profits, but you know what I'm saying, is going back into the community versus a third of that 80, which is what, 27%, that would go back in, $27 go back in. So, when we're looking to do things that are convenient, have that in mind, especially, little purchases obviously are one thing, big purchases much different thing.
Yeah, but all of it matters. And I think about do you have local spots that you have favorited around you? Like supermarket, and we have our local supermarket and local restaurants.
Yeah, and go to local, not that you would go to meat places, but like Dirk's Fish, right, that are, we just will be like, well, we won't get meat here, we're going to get it somewhere else.
Yeah. The other part of this is jobs, right?
Yeah.
Of just of creating jobs and helping to contribute to the economic growth by employing local residents. And so, it's great for the people in my neighborhood who can walk to my local grocery store and work there, right, and walk home. And people have a family-owned place to shop. It's just such a great circle of life there almost in that sort of ecosystem.
On jobs, I was able now 5, 6, 7 years ago to do the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses program. If you know a small business owner and you think that they might be interested in that, it's basically kind of a free executive MBA that you get accepted into a cohort to. And I remember the very first day they gave us stats on jobs and just how much small businesses matter. And granted, I'm with 30 other small business owners, so we're all the same mindset. But it boiled down to small businesses employ 50% of the entire workforce in the U.S., and they're responsible for 65% of job growth since 1995.
Wow. Since
the 90s. So if you're looking to really kind of support job growth in general, we're looking to those small businesses for really carrying that torch disproportionately to large businesses because they automate, right?
Yeah.
Next up is that they are truly the backbones of our local economies. We've kind of touched on this before, but when you spend money at a small business, it often stays within the communities. They're the ones who will then in turn donate and sponsor a local sports team. They'll create those local jobs. They'll reinvest it into the actual physical neighborhood. Simply put, without small businesses, our neighborhoods are truly just streets, right? Like, I don't know about you, but like when I see someone walking around, carrying like a Starbucks, I'm like, oh, if you would just go 2 blocks that way, right, things might look different in 10 years. So, just knowing that they are the ones that truly are building what we are going to have in the next 5 to 10 years. And I don't know about you, but I don't need a bunch of Amazon pickup stores and Starbucks left and right. I need businesses that know my name and that clean up the sidewalks and plant flowers and show up for their local communities.
Yeah, and such a good point, because I travel so much, and particularly if I'm driving when I'm traveling, the mini mall after mini mall where it's the same 5 stores
over and over.
Just like it feels like you're in a Mario game where the background just keeps repeating. What's really special is going to a town and seeing the local coffee shop and the local donut shop and in the small restaurant. Like that's what gives character to a place, and it makes us unique. It's the small businesses that really define a city or a town. So definitely need those. And I was just laughing because I was thinking about JJ Twiggs was my I was 8 years old playing t-ball or baseball and had JJ Twiggs local pizza shop.
I was like, what is JJ Twiggs?
Yeah, JJ Twiggs local pizza shop sponsored our team, and I will never forget those small businesses that sponsored our teams, not just as a kid but all the way up through even playing recreational dodgeball in New York City, that it was a small business, a small family-owned thing that would sponsor our teams. And just so many special moments of going with the team to celebrate at that business afterwards or thanking them. And just that is the cool way that businesses show up.
It feeds.
Yeah.
So, this is going to come to no surprise, but we're sort of at this juncture right now. Coming out of COVID has been hard for many, and I'm sure that, we see closings all the time. I mean, it is real. And in order for us to make that comeback and continue to try to survive, I'm not even going to say to thrive, because I don't think a lot of small businesses are there yet. We need you. We need all of you. We need the power of the people. And I think, especially when it gets to big cities, we get very into our local communities and our neighborhoods. And I think that nothing else can matter more than connection. And so we, especially as Chicagoans, if you live in Chicago or if you're listening to this and you live in another big city, let me just say, wow, it really matters. So we have a lot up against us right now, all small businesses. Obviously, we're coming out of the last few years, and then we're facing costs that are kind of we've never seen before. I know that personally, compared to 4 years ago, we're up almost 40% on costs, and a lot of those are variables like zoning ordinances that we can't control, but we have to somehow try to absorb and offset. So, I am very honest when people ask how we're doing, and I encourage other small business owners, and genuinely, if you go to a small business, ask them how they're doing. Don't expect them to say great. Ask them how you can help. So the back part of this is how can you help? And none of these are hard to do. They just take a little bit of effort and a little bit of mindfulness, and I promise you they will make a gigantic difference and really build some kick-ass neighborhoods in the next 5 to 10 years. So how do you do it? How do you show up for small? The first one for retailers, right? So these are, for me, I think retail and food, those are two of the hardest ones margin-wise. So it really means keeping local shops and those local shops as your first choice for shopping. I mean, I know that online is easy, 100%. I know. I get lured by that as well, right? Instagram ads do not help. And just go into it knowing you might take a little extra energy to get there. You might spend a few more dollars because it's a small guy is buying things and reselling them. But just know that when you're doing that, you're feeding, again, go back to that. If I spend $100, up to 80% of those profits are going to be able to go back into there. But they've also adapted really well in the last 4.5 years. We have retailers that they have online, they can still ship to you if you really don't want to go in, right? They have easy pickup. A lot of them even offer really great gift options. So I'll order stuff locally and then have them wrap, and then I literally just go and pick it up. And so the time that I spent going to pick it up, I just saved or made back because I don't have to wrap things, which really, you're welcome, because I'm not good at wrapping. Brian's the wrapper in our house.
And some of the wrapping is really good. So as an example, you always direct people to T-Shirt Deli, which I believe is a local business, right? And their wrapping is incredible.
Yep, and you get chips.
And you get chips.
So that's a great favorite. We wanted to highlight some of our favorites as well as we're giving these tips. So one favorite is absolutely T-Shirt Deli over on Damon. Fantastic for custom Gifts, they have really always timely gifts. I know I've seen some really great election ones already in their window. Baby gifts, they can do onesies. We do our Edge onesies through them. If you are racing and you want to get your name on your shirt, or if you're one of our Edge athletes and you want to get our logo put on, you can bring your own stuff in. Fantastic female-owned business, and you get chips when you pick it up. It's very exciting. Another one that I just want to give a shout out to, again, retail. They got a high hill to climb, so let's keep shouting them out, is Lost Girls Vintage. They have multiple locations, so this makes it really, really easy. But especially if you're looking for like really easy, quirky, fun gifts that will just make people smile, or a really special piece, this is like a great go-to.
I love it. In my neighborhood, there's actually so many places that I'm sad to say I don't know the names of, but I go to because they're just right there.
Yep.
But around the holiday time, the Rogers Park Business Alliance does an incentive to a money kickback. If you spend $150 in our neighborhood at local businesses, we'll give you $25 back, or $200 and you get $50 back, or something like that.
Chamber of Commerce, way to go. That's great.
Awesome. So what it's done is it's forced Jen and I to do our Christmas shopping in that local area. So, we do our first round, our first passive shopping there, and anything else we can't find, then we'll go somewhere else. But, I think it does take that shift in your mindset to go, all right, I'm going to take it's this much extra effort. It is just a little bit, but the friction in terms of time can sometimes be a barrier. So just being like, all right, today's shopping day. We're going to walk around the neighborhood, go to all our favorite spots that I don't know the name of, and get some great gifts.
All right, next up is restaurants, which we know historically have a 10% survival rate, right? This is a hard one, especially with food costs up so much, rent costs up so much. What can we do to help them out? Well, first up is ordering directly from them versus via like a Grubhub or another online meal service. A lot of them have gotten very smart with how to do this. I have an example in my referrals, but just take that extra second and try not to go through a straight up Uber Eats, and see what you can get. Chances are the entree might even be cheaper too.
So much cheaper, and I'll tell you this again from traveling, that comparing like the website to a Grubhub or a Postmates or anything else, I was like, there's no way this entree is $20. Like, it's actually $16, but the markup of it and the convenience fee of it, we got 4 entrees when we were in Vegas recently, and it cost you $120. And it's like it was literally like rice and mixed vegetables and tofu. It was no. It broke my heart, and also knowing that restaurant wasn't getting that money. That like 50% of that is off the top.
Yeah. Order direct.
Order direct.
The other one that I love is using local businesses to help cater your parties. We even did this last night. We had a Windrunner get together, and we ordered Roots Pizza, which is a local pizzeria that has a couple locations. And it was great. It's like, great, $120 worth of pizza. Great, let's give it to them. I go and pick it up. Everybody's happy. And it really, really helps, because you're already paying for food. So why not pay that into something that is going to a small biz?
Yeah, and so many restaurants also have because they're local and care about the community, there's a community aspect to that too. So we did a catering thing yesterday for a friend's event that was from Smack Dab, which is my favorite small business in Rogers Park.
Are they all vegan?
Not all vegan, okay. No, but they have plenty of vegan options for me, and gluten-free as well. But catering through there, and then they also every month do a kickback to some social justice cause. So they'll give 10% of their profits away right off the top. So I think that's such an incredible thing to see, the way that they've invested in the community. They share their values through what they're invested in, and they have great food. So win-win-win.
My example is Asian food, not surprisingly. If you know me, you know that I would eat at breakfast, lunch, and dinner if you let me. So this was a really great example of Sai Mai Thai, S-A-I-M-A-I, and then Thai, as in Thai food. And I think Brian had maybe ordered on Grubhub a while ago, so it was just in my world, and I was like, I'm going to look on their website. So I did. Oh no, we actually got the delivery, and it had a sticker on the bag. This is why you pay attention to how things are delivered. And it said, order from us direct. And it ended up, I remembered it, I kept a sticker, order direct. Not only was it cheaper, but they also gave us a coupon code for like another $3 off. True story. I don't use those because I want them to have more money than not, and it's already cheaper, and it's faster delivery, and I can give the guy a cash tip. Like, it is just, we're just ticking all the boxes. So, you know, it just took that extra step. But I will tell you, I get so excited now to order from them because I know, one, I'm getting Asian food. We got it yesterday here at Edge watching the Olympics with all my alarms. But we have more of a touch, and even like the drivers are more invested. Like, it trickles all the way down.
All right, another way to support small businesses is through gift cards. So even if you're not, ready to spend the money right now, particularly for gifts, this is a great one. So any retailers, spas, salons, restaurants, local plant shop, all of this makes it easy to do the shopping and encourages your friends, especially if you're giving gifts, right? Encourages them to go check out a new local place, and maybe they become a regular customer there. I mentioned Plant Shop because this is one that I absolutely loved. When we did the Earth Day trash pickup a couple of years ago, the prize was a gift card to Plant Salon.
Yeah.
And I recently, after that, I went to Plant Salon. It was incredible. I got 2 plants. They're thriving. I couldn't tell you the name of them, but I did see that the Plant Salon recently closed.
No, they moved.
Oh, they moved.
Yeah, they
okay.
moved. Yeah, no, I know. It's
I was
not
like,
an
no.
anymore. Yeah, no. They're there. Don't don't panic.
Okay.
She just pivoted. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
The cool thing about gift cards too is that, as a fun fact, is that you actually recognize you get those funds as a business before they bring the card in. So it really helps from a cash flow perspective, which is why if you see a business that's doing a run on gift cards, you need to support that business, because that is in some ways them trying to close that gap if they have a cash flow issue.
And I will also say, in that case, if you see that run on gift cards, you also should spend that gift card pretty quickly, because there is a chance that is that effort to try to stay afloat, and they might not be there if you hold on to that for a year.
I love a gift card, and what I've started doing is giving gift cards to small businesses, and then I blow up my friends that I gave them to. I'm like, hey, have you used that gift card? I'll go with you, and then we go together, and then I end up spending money there too, which is great. I do not need more plants, but I will go with you.
Yeah.
And of course, all of those things that we've mentioned, they take money, but there's so much that you can do for showing up for small that has nothing to do with money and everything to do with just mindfulness and putting a little time. First up is writing review. I know that we ask, and we're going to be continuing to ask our members to write reviews on social platforms. Specifically for us, Google does the most. So if you feel passionate about a small business, give them a rating. Let them know that you love them, and it helps a lot with SEO optimization. It really, people look at how many reviews, what the quality is, all of the above. So as much as we love getting the feedback directly, publicly serves a whole nother future purpose.
Love it.
Absolutely share your favorite product. If you got a really amazing pug hair clip from that's me from Lost Girls Vintage, you need to post about it, because or I got like a really cute palm, I also love palms, fun fact, wreath around the holidays, and I posted it. I think 3 more people went and got one. So like, get excited about it, tag. This is where stories are so great. You can put the tag directly into it and direct people, then they can get their online shopping experience they want, but it's feeding straight into small. Referring a friend, right? Getting word of mouth, I know for us as a gym, is huge, and we also love our friends and family, because the fact that you trust us with their fitness journey, and then you're more likely to attend. It's such a lovely way to extend communities, and it comes from a very genuine spot. And so word of mouth is gigantic, or as little as just subscribing to their newsletters and their social channels and sharing their stories. It takes no time to hit that little send plus add to my story, and it gets a lot of views and a lot of ripple effects very, very quickly.
Yeah, especially with the people that follow you and trust you, right? If they're going to trust your opinion, this is why reviews are so important, not just for the general public. We're Yelp elites.
Woo!
I think like probably.
Do you get a shirt for that?
No, but you get invited to some pretty cool events.
Really?
Yeah. So Jen and I write reviews. Have for like the past 8 years, I think. Back to when I was in New York, we were doing
cool.
it. And we rely on those reviews, to find local small businesses and places that we could go that we think are cool. So I love these ways that people can help elevate the small business that literally costs no money. So even if it's a business that you're not particularly interested in or don't need something from right now, you can still support them in so many other ways.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, showing up for small. We want to end with just a very sincere thank you to our Edge family and our Edge community. You all, we say this over and over right now, culturally, we're the strongest we've ever been. While we're up against some amazing odds coming out of the last 4.5 years, you all who have stuck with us and helped build us back up through what has definitely been our most trying time. We're just extremely, extremely grateful, and we see you for your commitment, your dedication, your loyalty. It honestly has surpassed anything that we thought was ever possible, especially when everything started falling apart. It was like, how is this going to float? And here we are, still sailing. So simply put, without you, we would not be here, and that is true for so many small businesses that are around you, and we thank you all so much. You are why we do what we do. All right.
That's true.
I'm going to go get some food. Small business food to watch the rest of the Olympics. Till next time.
Thanks for listening to Coach Quip. Original music performed by Mend. Follow us online on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Edge Athlete Lounge. Our podcast lives in the blog section of our website. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review this podcast, and you can check out the show notes for additional ways to contact us. Ready, set, onward we go.